Alright, so guys, welcome back to Bubbleknight here to welcome you to a letter like part 15 or something. I really want to finish this game. I really wanted to. So, quick recap. She is pretty much jealous of Isabella and Ashton, although they're good friends. And let's see the branching route. I haven't made a single choice on her, and this is like an hour gameplay. This is like an hour of gameplay, and actually 51 minutes. And haven't made a single choice. If that's an hour, holy crap, this is gonna be like a huge long stretch of series. So let's just hope we can get through this really fast. Can't wait to be done over with this. So alright, thank you guys for following me this far, and excuse my speaking abilities, but I'll prove for you guys, I promise. Dusk has already given way to night when we leave the film fest. Unfortunately, it does nothing to prove my mood like I am hoping. Neither does the muggy air that greets us upon stepping back to the noisy streets. Too busy, too loud, too many people talk about what little space the sidewalk offers. It forces anyone to bump shoulders with those who barely know, let alone care about. On a normal evening, I wouldn't have minded the crowd nor the humid weather. It's not like any of them bother anyone. And yet, even with us admittedly a pleasant company, I can't bring myself to line up.
See you guys some other time.
Oh, she's spooked.
Yeah, see ya.
Not even to return the smile Ashton and Zachary give us when we go our separate ways. Perhaps this started with Miss Cooper's call early on that. Maybe even the moment I left bed this morning. Bloody hell, it could have been because of that solder letter, for all I know. I couldn't care less at this point. All I want is to get a warm bath, sleep, and wait for this dread day to end. Now, if only Isabella would stop blabbling, then maybe this dull throbbing on the side of my head won't turn to a full-blown headache too.
Zach did a pretty good job with his movie, didn't he? Even though Ash said he ran into some trouble late into filming. But I knew he had it in him. It's not like I didn't believe he couldn't do it. I mean, did you see his face after the credits rolled? All those months he worked on this, and everything's finally...
You weren't even watching.
Only the first minutes. I watched the rest of it, I swear. Besides, Ashton was the one who wouldn't stop asking questions.
Well, why do we still need to talk about this then? I liked it. Ash liked it. You liked it. Shouldn't you be telling that to Zachary in person? I'm sure he'll appreciate it better than I ever will.
I know that, but maybe there's something you want to say?
Oh shit.
Zach had you check the scripts before he went through everything, didn't he? You also worked on it, even if it was only for a short time. So, maybe you want to...
I don't bother waiting for the rest. The moment I spot my car, I'm going to make a quick beeline for it. Knowing her, this is merely another attempt to start a conversation, so we'll have something to fill the dead air, to replace the strange atmosphere we somehow walked into. One thing, the very thing I'm not too keen to deal with at present. Behind me, Isabella also charges a pace to match mine. Her soft strides grows brisk and unevenly in order to catch up. A small part of me half expects she will suddenly trip. Oh no, don't do that! She's not the clumsy sort, but there are definitely times where she can be the least coordinated person on the planet.
Becca, hey! Oh no. Wait for me!
And people wonder why I worry? They're not really completely unfounded once you already grown familiar with her habits. Though right now, this is also the very end of the list thing I want to think about. Sometimes it does become overbearing. Even her voice, as she calls me, sounds nothing more than a background noise to my ears now.
Rebecca, slow down, will you? Your car's not going to leave without us.
The sooner we get on the road, the earlier we can get home. It's Friday, in case you didn't notice.
I know what day it is, but the traffic's not going to magically disappear, even if we go there right now.
I don't want to hear that from you. Didn't you used to complain how horrendous the traffic is back home for you?
Oh no, Rebecca's like a different person now.
Yeah? But that doesn't have anything to do with this, Becca.
Okay. What do you want to do then? Wait it out? Walk? I just want to go home, Isabella. If you want to stay out here longer, I won't stop you. But leave me out of it. I'm not up for any other foolish excursions tonight.
I wasn't thinking about an excursion. I want to go home too. It's already late. It's just that you've been in this prickly mood since earlier. Are you really okay? Was it the cold? Or did something happen at school? Do you want to talk about it?
A long pause follows and holds everything she's been meaning to ask from the start. I'm in no mood, but at the same, my hand stops short by locking my car, and my grip on the handle tightens. I feel her eyes boring on me, waiting, hoping patiently for the answer I give. She's the same as Zachary. They're bad liars. But when you talk to people like them, if you're not careful, they often leave you with no other choice but to admit the truth. Those exact same ones I can't voice. Despite my lack of response, she pushes on, surprisingly. This time, her tone is quieter, more tentative than usual.
Was it because of the letter?
It's a well-meaning question, much like the rest of this talk. Yeah, something in how she says it irks me.
If it is, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to cause a scene. I did see something in the mansion, though. I wasn't lying about that.
Whatever she wants to take this, I no longer want to hear a word from it. Not at this minute. Preferably never. Especially when there are already a million other things buzzing and prodding inside my head. No, we're gonna make this right. So let me gonna save. This would be the first choice.
And during the open
Oh,
house,
cool. Awesome.
even if there were a lot of people around, there were weird things happening. I don't know if there was anyone else who noticed, but I heard things. I'm sure it wasn't because I fell down the stairs. Even before that, in the attic,
Isabella.
Yeah?
A pause, though I don't let it last long, only to give myself a small window to breathe, before I lay down the words between us as much restraint as my page allows, which is not much after everything. I can only hope Isabella will simply take them as they are. She can be stubborn as a mule when she wants to be.
This kind of conversation tonight. Look, it's been a long day. I think this cold also caught up with me, and I'm really exhausted. Can we talk about this some other time?
She blinks, and although disappointment flashes momentarily in her face, she gives me a curt nod. A relief enough for me. Perhaps the first time I genuinely feel it today, and unpleasant as this day has been. Seeing something go the way I anticipated takes the itch out of it. Even if laying through my teeth has to go with it.
Oh, alright. You should have just said so. I told you should have taken a full week off. Were you able to get the meds I brought you, though? Do you need anything? I could drop by the pharmacy for you.
Yeah, no need to fuss. A good night's sleep is all I need. I've been busy the whole day. I guess I should have listened to you and taken it easy. But we have exams to prepare for. It's one or the other, you know?
I knew it! Here I thought you were just upset about something. Even Ash looked a little bit worried about you.
It's fine. Let's just head home, okay? I'll make it up to you next time. Call me out to lunch or wherever. Just... not right now.
Okay, but should you be driving? If you want, I can call a taxi for us. You'll hate paying the extra fees, but you'll be able to get some rest on the way home.
No, don't call a cab. I can manage driving at least. Just get in the car so we can be on our way.
I'm already opening the door and climbing to the seat before she protests. Left with no other choice, she followed inside shortly, albeit with a bit of reluctance. The guilt from this would eat at me later, but for now, these little foolish hoods are mine to bear and hide under. For now, this is the better choice. Better than pretending she doesn't exist or giving her vague answers. Certainly better than harsh words and outright lashing out at her. I can find little comfort in that. Thankfully, if there's anything left to be spoken between us, we won't have discussed it on the way home. Or rather, we can't, because no sooner than we hit the road, Isabella dozes off. Despite my foul mood, I still end up surprising laughter once the first sound of her breathing fills the car.
Mama?
What?
Not your mom, Isabella.
Slowly and steadily, the quiet rhythm so completely unlike her, so far removed from every impression anyone has of her. A few faint whispers will occasionally come from her, but otherwise it's just us. This silence, and is so utterly unexpected. Still a welcome break, of course. Peace and quiet is one thing you'll rarely get with her around, yet it's nowhere near comforting. It merely lends the air the strange clarity. Every little sound, every single movement more palpable, and with it comes unease. A jolt of surprise hits me. It's almost comical if this were a different situation. In my haste, I hastily dislodge my mobile front seat to dashboard when I swipe on the screen. Soon, I'm scrambling blinding for my other hand while keeping steady on the road ahead. Oh shit. A voice cracked on the loudspeaker before I can put it back. Although muffled heavily by the service, I recognize the person on the other line from the chippy tone alone.
Hello?
Oh, she's still alive.
Miss Cooper.
Oh, you're still awake. Evening. I hope I didn't disturb you or anything. I know it's a bit late. Sorry about that. I just want to check on you and Isabella. That girl's still not answering her mobile. Were you able to meet up with her?
Yes. She's with me. We're on our way home.
Hello? What was that again? I can't hear you properly.
Oh no.
Sorry. Let me just fix this dumb phone.
Oh no. Miss Cooper is getting owned. My hand stops dead for a moment. I spare the device a brief glance, waiting. Seconds pass. Nothing happened though. Frankly, I'm not sure what I'm expecting, but the lines of my mouth forms into a frown, regardless.
Miss Cooper?
Yes, still here.
What?
Did you say something?
Just that I didn't get the last part. What were you saying again?
No, I thought you... Never mind. Must be the signal acting up. Come again?
What?
Is everything all right over there?
Certainly. Is something wrong? What wouldn't? Okay, you seem to be busy. If this is a good time, I can just call you back some,
I have to make a conscious effort not to panic right out there, although my tight hold on the steering wheel tells a different story altogether.
Miss Cooper? Rose? Hey, Rose! Are you still there?
Only a burst of static answers me, and maybe this lapse is entirely because of exhaustion. It has been a long day. I haven't fully recovered from last week about the flu, contrary to what I have been telling people. Though perhaps had I paid close attention to it, had I not been so occupied with other thoughts, I probably would have noticed earlier that it never came to my phone from my phone, but from somewhere right behind me. Alright. Time slows to a crawl. Looking up is a mistake. The first thing I see is a face, a ghastly shade, every inch battered, bruised and bloodied. Even in darkness, the world passed by the blur of lights inside. I can still make out the wounds. Blood still oozing from it. Little trails of crimson running down his face. Glister under what little light there is. But it's the gleam in his eyes that catches mine. The quiet plea, the anguish, and the desperation in them, more than its hideous features, and the awful stench of gore now soaking the air. As a trance of mine, I can't bring myself to look away. Even its lips contorted to a horrific smile. You know, for some reason I want to slap the ghost in the face, alright? I just want to do it. I'm not one of those people that's afraid of ghosts. Because it might... I say this over and over again. If you kill me and I turn to a ghost, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, alright? Even a sharp, harsh noise pierced through the air in the sights around us.
Rebecca! Huh? Car! Eyes on the road!
Against everything I've been taught, I've constantly remind myself, I close my eyes. It's a brief moment, a short vivid second of muscle memory, and an instant complete taking over. If I didn't allow it, my hand still didn't move. My hand didn't move, or my feet didn't hit the brakes in that exact second. I might have... Isabella, I might have... No. I shake the notion away from before I lose myself in it. Right now, it's an ugly line of thought I refuse to wrench you into. Not when breathing is a struggle and every ounce of strength has been totally drained from my body. Most definitely not while Isabella's panicked voice beside me still rings my ears. We're still alive. We're safe. That's all that matters. But it's not her face that I look for when I'm opening my eyes. Oh god. I expected these things. Little telling marks and crevices on the cover show me where it has sit not a second ago. But whatever it is, it left not a single trace. And though courage is a hard thing to get at this point, I take what little remains of me and turn towards the backseat. Even then, there's none. Well, was there really something in there in the first place? With how empty it is, I begin to doubt it. The stupid flu again.
I need a long rest after this.
My hands falls uselessly to my side, numb from how taut my grip on the wheel has gone. Yet still trembling from the unexpected rush of adrenaline. Against my ears, my heart still pounds in erratic rhythm, and my breathing hasn't slowed down. But the world has already righted itself without waiting for me. And little by little, second after second, as I sit there motionless, color began to seep back around me, along with the other sounds of a voice, no longer distinct, rang, and it was earlier.
Becca, are you okay? Answer me, will you? You're scaring me. You know what? I think we should just call a taxi since...
Can you keep it down?
Strained, harsh, and completely unintentional, but with the heat prickling the back of my eyes and the mouth throbbing on my temple, I could honestly do a little slides for now.
Keep it down? We almost crashed, Becca.
I know what happened. It was a lapse. I'm sorry.
A lapse? You call that a lapse? Becca, I really don't want to end up a mangled mess on the side of the road, or a mangled mess anywhere. All I'm asking, if the time ever comes, which I hope isn't right now, is a peaceful death. Give that one to me at least. Not that I'm asking for it, but please.
Isabella. Belle, you're overreacting. If you're so worried, why don't you drive?
Don't have a license.
I keep telling you to get one, didn't I? For the past 5 years.
Sorry guys, fat finger.
Do you see why now?
I wasn't really expecting to stay here this long. I thought it'd just be for a year or two.
All of a sudden, a pensive mood comes over her. Isabella looks away then, while what's left of my little lecture never crosses the tip of my tongue. I don't allow it to, because in each of those words she let loose earlier is a small truth. Her stay has always been meant to be something fleeting. Earn some good money, go home. It's what she told herself during the first year here. Now, half decades later, I'm not sure if she still believes in that. Even I am not sure if I still believe in it. And if there's something in her reasons that has changed along the way, even if I already have a hunch, it's one thing I'll never bother to ask. Those are hers to keep.
I'll be careful this time, I promise. Just please, can we give this whole thing a rest for now?
She nods, and that's the end of it. We spend the rest of the trip back to Salem well in silence. Our thoughts and overreacting imagination playing tricks on the fluid, adult mind of the smiles of never meant for my eyes, abandoned, if only for a brief moment. It begins innocently enough. Tuesday morning arrives like any other day before it, bright and clear. Even though it comes with an extra helping of unusual October weather, I appreciate being able to catch a glimpse of the clear sky lately. After going through a bout of sickness last week, it does something to lift the mood of what would otherwise be a dreary morning. And despite being mostly a creature of habit, I wind up waking earlier than usual because of it. Still no earlier than Isabella appears. I assume she will take a day off or two because of what happened to Miss Cooper, but that doesn't seem to be the case. The sound of morning news drift from their unit when I walk past on the way to my mailbox. Chances are, around this hour, she's already dressed and ready to go, probably just waiting for the next bus to arrive. I've tried to follow her example before, but I don't think I'll be repeating that.
Really? How can anyone be up before the sun is up?
It's a habit she got from home, she said, and still in her by the kind of life she grew up in. Like clockwork, it always had 4 a.m.? Either to help with chores or prepare her little sibling for school. God, 4 a.m. is a little too much, don't you think? I mean, usually I finish recording around like 1 or 2 in the morning. I still wakes up around 7 and go to work. Oh, it's the only time I can record anyways. So it surprised me the first time. She just didn't look like someone who could. In the end, I simply passed it off as one of the many things anyone would have to get used to around her. Not that I'll ever fully understand. I'm my parents' only child. We aren't well off, but so far I've lived a relatively easy life. I didn't have to think about bills or food for the next day, or paying for any simple situation on top of my own, or supporting a sick father's medication. I'll have to worry about were my grades, if I gain mom's and dad's approval, or what I'd be having for dinner. When put next to hers, they all pale in comparison. They look less than problems and more like petty issues this way.
Petty issues?
But as unimportant as it all sounds, sometimes the ugly head rears at the most appropriate moments. And sometimes they come through your mailbox in the form of a fancy-looking letter, petty ribbon and all. Whoever sent this has spent silly money on the envelope alone, verging on ridiculously, really. I can already imagine Isabella wrinkling her nose when she sees this. Then she'll complain about unnecessary expense and rich people problems. I'm almost afraid to touch it myself, as if simply brushing the hand against its crisp surface will be enough to put a crease on it. And it will be a terrible slide to center. But as extravagant as I find this, it isn't really the first time I've received one. Most of the time it's not even for me, so who am I to complain? Either way, no look surprise crosses my face once I flip the envelope to see my parents' name written in a neat script.
Nothing new then.
Their Eastern Academy natural brought with their various connections. People from other fields, art, science, business, politics, you name it. This one, though, gives a much as personal vibe. Letters like this usually come from old students, people who are grown fond of my parents, and they, in return, treat them like children of their own. I've met a few of them. Most have moved on to become successful in their children's careers, and little letters like this are their way of expressing gratitude. It's one thing mom and dad are proud of, rightfully so. I'm happy for them. But there are times I wish I remember they have a daughter here, the real one. Not that it's any importance right now, but no buts. It's not like they didn't raise me well and provide for me. They did. I wouldn't be here right now where I am if it weren't for their hard work. And like a dutiful child, I do everything I can to give back. Even if it's a small thing as letting them know they've got another mail waiting for them. The phone rings for a good minute before someone answers them. Mom, her voice as warm as I remember.
Becca?
Hi, Mum. How's the conference going?
Well enough. Until your dad sprained his ankle.
Oh no, is it bad?
I'm alright. In case anyone in this family cares to listen, I'm alright. Very much alive, darling.
And there you have it. He'll be up and walking in a few weeks, don't worry. We're going to have to extend our stay here until it heals, though. Is something the matter?
Nothing big. Just that this mail arrived for you this morning.
A lie. Thankfully, she doesn't notice. Although I'm going to be honest, a smart of me yearns for her to do so and ask me about it. But I put down the idea almost as soon as it surfaces. I shouldn't make them frightened. They're busy.
What does it say?
Raise your glasses, give cheers to the good times, blah blah.
Becca manners. That isn't how I taught you to read.
Sorry. You are cordially... it's an invitation, Mum, for a housewarming party. From, Hana?
The name rings a bell. Though at the moment I can't recall when or where I've heard of it recently. It must be nothing too important if I didn't bother committing it to memory. There are a lot of Hannahs in the world, so who knows?
Hana.
She also wrote you a note, Mum. It says you used to be her private tutor at the Evans Mansion, and that she misses you and would love to see you two again.
It makes my heart clench to read another openly saying those words from them. To them, the same ones I want to tell them. I want to see you too. It's been years since we've been together as a family, and if there's one thing that hasn't changed from my childhood, it's the mom and dad are still too busy with their respective careers. Out of the country, away from something meeting or symposium. Sometimes from the months on end. It only grew more frequently with the years until I'm old enough to live on my own. I like to think that's how I become independent at such an early age. They always praise me for that. At times, I wish they didn't.
Evans? Oh, I remember now. Honey, it's Hana. Hana Evans. Remember? Bright girl, 2 years older than Becca?
Didn't she get married a few years ago? 7 now, I think. But, they grow up so fast, these kids.
Yeah, she invited us to that too. Fonte de Medici. But we missed that one because you had to present your paper in Singapore.
We did send her a note after. Still a shame we couldn't attend, though. What is it about this time?
She sent another invite for a housewarming party. Becca, when is it?
This Friday, Mum.
Oh, that's too bad. We'd love to be there, but Da's not in a condition to go walking around. I guess we'd have to decline again. I really miss that girl.
I could go in your place.
I let it slip without thinking. Personally, I've never been fond of gatherings, regardless how simple people makes it seems. But if one thing I hate hearing, that disappointment note in Mom's voice always ranks first. Whether it's directed at me or some other things doesn't matter.
Are you sure? Don't you have work this Friday?
The event will be in the evening, Mum. It shouldn't take anything away from my schedule.
Wonder what nationality is her. She speaks funny.
It's all right. The invite's for 2 people. I can bring someone with me so things don't get boring.
I see. Maybe you can also invite Ashton?
Mum, that's a sure no from him. He hates attending parties. But I'll see what I can do. If not, I can always bring Isabella with me. You know her. She won't say no if there's food involved.
Okay, if it's not going to be a big problem for you, I don't see why not. We owe you this one, darling.
No problem, Mum. I'll even say hi to Hana for you.
Mom? Mom? I like the way she says mom.
Please do. And let her know we'd love to see see her once we're back in the city. Leave her our number or something.
I will.
But you know, the two of you would have become really good friends. Don't you remember? You met with her once. If my memory serves me right, you were 12 then?
This too, I can't recall. It's probably one of those meetings where we just only talk for a bit before going our ways. If she did leave an impression, I'm pretty sure I would have written about it somewhere, or at least recognize her name. As it is, the only few people I remember clearly from the time of my life is Ashton and Mindy. To some extent, Mom must sense my confusion because she laughs.
Don't push yourself too hard, darling. Really? It felt like having two daughters back then. Sometimes I wish they didn't send her away to boarding school. But, well, you know how often that goes with them. Still, try talking to her while you're there.
Oh, we'll see. I'll let you know what happens after.
I'm looking forward to it, darling. Take care of yourself.
Will do. You too, Mom. Bye. Tell Da to be careful next time.
She chuckles then, a hearty one, tender always lying on my ears. She may have been a stern teacher, but this is the part of her I love the most. The sound still echoes even our calls come to an abrupt end, bring with it a memory from so many years ago, when life and responsibility that accompany adulthood are things far from our minds. If given a chance, I'd love to go back to those. I don't dwell well on it though, shaking it all away almost as soon as the memory forms a clear picture in my head. I've always wondered how Isabella can easily pretend everything's normal over a phone call, then bounce back to her usual self immediately after. I've seen her do it plenty of times. For me, it just drains whatever energy I have, and with the whole day of teaching still ahead of me, I can't afford to look exhausted in front of my students, even for a wee bit. It's never a good example to set. So, with another sigh, I put everything on the back of my mind and tread back to my room. The rest of my day waits. 15 minutes later, I'm heading back out, dressed for the whole day, my car keys in hand. Ordinarily, I don't stop for anything. There's never a need to. There are plenty. That's the beauty of this apartment complex. It's quiet and everyone keeps to themselves. No useless attitude in the morning. No need to wear a smile on your face. At least other people are noisy enough to ask. Today, however, the morning broadcast still plays from Isabella's room. My brisk pace slowed to a stop, and frowning gradually formed in my face.
She hasn't left.
Of course, this isn't unusual. There are times when I left earlier than she did, like last Friday, before the open house, but those days are fewer and far between. It only happens in the direst circumstances, though the last part of that might be a bit of exaggeration. However, with what's happened in the last few days, maybe today is the one. The death of a friend isn't something anyone can brush off, and someone like Isabella. Isabella is the kind who gets attached to people easily. With Zachary, Ashton, and I, that has been the case. I can't imagine what she's going through right now, especially when the woman was someone she owed a lot. Despite their training being brief. I've given her the space last night deference, but perhaps today might be the proper time to check on her.
Oh, whatever. I've still got time anyway.
With light steps, I move close to her door, hand already poised to knock. Still, I don't do it until I hear her answer me.
Isabella? Belle? Are you in there?
No answer. After a second, I finally lock, lightly so I don't disturb her, in case she's sleeping and has merely left the telly running last night. Never mind how she never lets that happen, ever. Waste of electricity and all.
I just want to check on you before I leave. Is that okay? Are you going to work today? Belle?
Still nothing.
I'm about to leave. If you want, I can drop you off.
Another round knocking. Then I finish out a copy of her key in my bag and lock the door. She lent it years ago after I complained about the mess and offered my help to clean it up. I thought the gesture was completely unnecessary back then. After all, I could always knock. But she never did bother taking them from me. Always returning it or turning away from the conversation whenever I insist. At one point, I simply stopped trying to hint it back to her.
Isabella? I'm coming in, all right?
Without waiting for her answer, I pushed the door open and stepped inside. Alright. Her unit is still a mess. There's a cup of noodles on the table, a pile of cloth on one side, paper stretched out about everywhere on an unkept bed, among other things. This as much as given, will always be a given. I've always been here several times already, and I still wonder how she can function like a human with being placed in this state. However, that's neither here nor there. Not sure what I'm expecting, but certainly not finding an empty flat. Granted, she could have left earlier, far earlier than usual, but she never ever leaves without making sure she unplugged everything. That's something she doesn't forget to do. It doesn't help that her bathroom appears unused this morning. Another habit, and it can only mean she hasn't been here since last night? Perhaps even since the morning after Miss Cooper's death? Neither idea doesn't sit well with me. What with the news that we've been hearing lately?
The authorities are still trying to find the cause of death for all the victims. Early investigation revealed most of them were employed under Briar Realty Corporation at the time of death. Meanwhile, BRC has refused to comment on this.
Gathering my wits, I immediately placed the call to her mobile. It rings for a good minute, and the sound comforted itself, but when another minute rolls by without her answering, well, not a woman prone to panicking, suddenly bouts of temper, maybe, but never panic, despite how it may sound when speaking. And with all me goes straight to a voicemail, a sign's the only thing I let out. The pause doesn't last long, though. In the next moment, my fingers are already moving across the screen, in search of the two people who might be able to help. It's Ashton's number I find first and dial. Call it habit, but even Isabella thinks he's dependable when situation calls for it. Despite how much they give each other grief, this already says a lot about him. There's Zachary. But around this hour, he's probably still sleeping. If he has freelance work, it's very likely he just got himself in bed. He's the last person I want to bother, if anything. The wait doesn't take long. Then a click, and then Ashton's voice echoed through the receiver, roughly and still heavy with sleep. He never did grow fond of mornings.
Becca? Christ, what time is it? What's up?
Not you, apparently.
Good one. Did you call us early just to make that joke? I'm going back to sleep.
No, Ash, hold on. This is important.
Becca, stakeout last night. Make this quick. I've still got a few hours before the chief bothers me.
Sorry, I'll let you go back to sleep after. It's just that... Wait, you were on a stakeout last night?
Did I say that? Shit.
Shit, indeed.
Forget I said that. Forget I said anything. Forget we had this conversation.
So, you have no idea?
About what? About what? I also have no idea why we're talking so early in the morning, so there's that.
No, will you stop sleep talking or whatever for a second? Belle didn't come home last night. She's gone.
Who?
Isabella!
Instead of answering, a brief pause comes after, followed by something blunt and heavy hitting a hard surface and a string of rather uncallable curses from him. The moment might have been one of the many things I kept myself and remember fondly in the next few days, if things aren't the way they are. When he picks up again, there's no trace of sleeping left in his voice.
Say that again, from the top.
Isabella's gone, Ash. She didn't come home last night. Her flat's empty. She left her telly running. You know she doesn't do that at...
Okay, Becca, stop. Calm down first. You're starting to panic.
I'm not!
You are. Breathe. One person's not going to simply disappear like that. This is Isabella we're talking about. Did you try calling her?
What did you think is the first thing I did? She's not picking up. It went to her voicemail.
How about Zach? Did you check with him?
Not yet. I didn't want to bother him. You know he has trouble sleeping and all that.
All right, I'll go ask Zach. I'll call you back.
No, wait!
He ends the call before I can utter a single word of protest. But for the first time since entering this room, the tension is gone from my shoulders and my breathing has eased. The bed creaks as I sink down on with a sigh, and telly still blurs the same uninteresting news. And I'm surrounded by clutter. And all at the same time, it feels strangely calm to be here without worry nagging me. I have to apologize Zachary late after sending Ashton his way this early, but for now, relying on the letter for this isn't the wrong choice. It never will be. That's something I won't ever doubt in him, much like his promises. The truth is word, he calls back with only a few minutes after the last one has ended.
She's with Zach.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. She could have at least sent a message last night.
What are you, her mother?
It's one thing to hear that from Isabella, but from Ashton?
I don't want to hear anything like that from you.
I'm serious. You've got to stop treating her like she's one of your students, Becca. You don't have to keep tabs on her every time. Last I checked, she's only 3 years younger than the two of us. That's almost a decade gap from those kids you're teaching, you know.
Says the person who keeps calling her Scaredy Cat.
That's not related at all. Anyway, I'll go check how she's doing. Don't stress yourself out. You go ahead to work.
Wait, you? Don't you have a precinct to be at? Whatever happened to not treating her like one of my students? Because if anyone's going to ask me, I think you're doing the same thing.
Zach said it's an emergency. Something happened last night.
Emergency?
He didn't put it in those exact same words, but it sounded like it.
Ash, what really happened? Is Isabella fine?
She's alright. She's safe. Zach let her stay the night after she... Look, okay. Z-Man wasn't clear about it, but let me handle this. I'll check on her. I'll bring her home.
It sounds like a lie if I ever heard one. The sort where he omits things so people won't fright. And I'm not sure whether I should be happy he cares that much to do that. There shouldn't be a need for this between us, is there? We grew up together, didn't we? He knows I'm capable of at least hearing the truth without gnawing at me for the rest of the day. He knows me better than that. I know him better than that. Frankly, there's plenty of other things to say about this. But despite and after all the trouble he went through, and how things are moving at the moment, only one thought occurs to me. What should I say? Crap. I know I should say crap. Okay, let's check the relationship. Alright. Gonna pick the one that benefits her. Sorry for the trouble. Okay, so I gain a little bit on Ashton as well. Okay, cool. I recognize his concern for what it is. It's not new for him to go his way for us. And to be honest, this is what I love about him. As much as I would love to take his hands, it'll only be selfish of me to insist, considering he knows of my other commitments. To do so, it feels like I'll be trampling on that kindness he seldom offers to anyone.
Sorry for putting you up to this.
Nah, don't mention it. You've got other things you need to worry about. Take care of those first. This is a small thing.
I still owe you one.
Oh, I can name a few things you can do about that. You know, there's this ice cream shop that opened near the movie house. I could use...
Okay, let's stop right there. That's enough. On second thought, maybe I'll just think about it some other time.
Harsh.
And both laughed to sound lighter and more comfortable. Like the old days, when the wayward 26-year-old at the bottom of the list we need to worry about. So, okay, the 3 years old, they're both 29. Okay, cool. This is how we find common ground. We may not agree a lot of things. We may see things the way others does, but give and take is something we have learned to get used to over the years. Whenever it's like this, confidence in him is the least I can offer in us thanks.
Really? Thanks for this, Ash.
I'll let you know what happened afterwards, I promise. I'll call you later. You have a good day. Bye.
I admit the way he puts it isn't comforting enough. He can be blunt at that. So many unknown variables, so many words left unsaid. I wish he simply laid them out all in the open, because like this, I'm more inclined to think there's exaggeration on this part. Oh god. Ugh. Sorry, I really have I have a cold right now, so my voice might be more muffled than usual. If it's from Zachary Ashen, I don't know. In the end, all I can do is wait, go about my day, and hope for the best. Before leaving, I spared Isabella's room one last glance, disturbingly quiet in a hall without her in it. I'll get answers from her later. But for now, my concerns are best left here. The rest of the day slips away in a blur. Despite my best effort to keep this morning events from surfing in my mind, it sticks. In a way, everything today simply feels like a reminder. Every conversation, regardless of how casual every topic, no matter how mundane it seems, I blame the news entirely for this. Recent happening brought quite a few interesting stories to everyone's attention. Most superstitious talk of death. With the local calls about death here, anyone can sure as hell count on someone bring that mention Isabella sold not a few weeks ago. Even my own student won't stop yapping about it. I think it's worse than it was put back on the market. Now there are more stories. If this is the world reminding me of what matters, or simply because the atmosphere around this time of the year calls for it, I'd rather take the latter. At least then, I can be sure people will forget about it in favor of another set of holidays after. Nevertheless, this may be a painful thing to admit, but listening to it is a pleasant distraction while waiting for Ashton's call. I hope he didn't forget. The school day is about to end.
No, that's got nothing with what I heard.
Wait, how come you didn't voice act a female student? Are you racist? He always heard that stuff. I don't want to voice act a female student. Come on. I'm not sure in half of them is even real.
No, really. Rowan knows about it. He used to be in the same class with them.
I can hear you from back here, you know.
Whatever, Rowan. Anyway, the story goes like this. There were 3 of them. They entered the mansion on a dare, and they were all never seen again. No one knows what happened to them. Up to this day. Scary shit, man.
Cock and bull story. Calling it now.
Why can't she speak earlier?
No, you don't get it. Why don't you ask Miss Gales then? Better yet, why don't you go inside the place? I'm betting my allowance you can't do it.
Their talk made me halt when I looked up. All of them studying pretend to be engrossed in their current activity. Still, a word to put a stopper to this nonsense isn't needed. Creativity and imagination fostered by these stories is one thing, but a reckless idea should be corrected before anything potentially tragic come from it.
Back to your worksheets, everyone. And I don't want to hear any talk of dares or going inside that mansion. It's private property now. You'd all better stay away from it before...
At the noise, the whole lot of them go silent. You can almost hear a pin drop. The look on their faces would have made a funny picture, but that's irrelevant at the moment. If that's a student lowering around, someone's going to be in trouble.
I'll be back. If you're done, you can leave your worksheets on my desk. Keep the noise to a minimum while I'm gone, okay?
I can sense their eyes on me as I walk out the door. A muted kind of anticipation. A bit unnerving, but it's far more agreeable than the feeling of being watched I've been enjoying these past few days. Class is still in session for most of the rooms. In a few hours, once the final bell rings, however, this place will be once again filled with busy chatter and footfalls in the everyday cycle itself. But for the moment, I let the silence guide me. My ears focus on whatever sound there will be, searching for that distinct clanging of metal. A good minute passes, and for the portion of it, only my steps echo through the hall. In another, I'm about to turn around when the sound of it halts my step, and a little muffled and frequent, but grows louder after each interval. With the hallway devoid of people, if I don't put a stop to it soon, it'll start to disturb other classes still going on. Looking for it doesn't take long. All I do is follow the racket, and surely I'm standing in front of the nondescript row of unoccupied lockers. And from inside of one of them, sitting in the middle, comes the noise, annoyingly disruptive now that I'm facing it. Like someone's pounding out the middle door from the inside, hoping to get out. Leaning forward, I try to get a glimpse through the horizontal slit of whatever's causing it, but at this light, only darkness greets me another round of cleaning. Louder than previously once, more desperate. I've heard stories before, from other schools, from a few colleagues who had to deal with it once or twice. Although personally, I have never encountered one myself, and I can only thank the heavens that I haven't yet. But
If this is another kid some other student stuffed in a locker.
with a huff, I straighten up and study it briefly with a frown. Without delay, I reach for its handle and once it stops, immediately replace our muffled sound of mobile phone ringing. I give the door a few raps before taking my attention away. A second, another. With nothing or one response, I finally avert my eyes and pull my mobile. Ash's voice greets me from earlier on the other end of the line. Awfully cheer in the light of this morning matters, or maybe because I'm just expecting some grave or serious news from him. Instead, I get this.
Hey, Becca.
Well, you sound happy.
I do? My voice still sounds the same to me.
There are only two things I know that could be the reason for that tone. Sweets, or he's gotten the good leads in his case. From the sound of it, I'm going to assume he's former, since lately that this case is all that running through his head. If there's ever a third one, I've never heard of it yet. It can only be a one or two.
Ignore that. How's Isabella?
Drove her home a few minutes ago. I think she's sleeping now. Sorry this took a while. Z-Man gave us the puppy eyes after we tried to leave. Had some food prepared for us, apparently. We didn't have the heart to say no.
That's all right. Is she okay now?
I'm not really sure. She didn't say anything to Zach, but she mentioned a plan to take a few days off from work. It was a passing comment before I left her, so I didn't get to ask.
Must be because of Rose's death.
Could be. It doesn't seem like it from Zach's story, though. He said she was shaking when she got there.
Shaking?
The word triggered a memory. From 3 days ago, on the way home from her little tree after she sold the mansion, I didn't think much of it at the time. But I won't lie, it scared me. The terrified look on her face, how she sounded when she suddenly screamed.
Becca? Still there?
Yeah, I just remembered something. Sorry, don't mind me.
Look, if you can talk to her, get the story out of her. That would be great. She wouldn't talk to Zach or me even when I tried. Maybe she'll speak up if it's you?
I'll give it a go, but I can't promise anything, okay? You know how stubborn she can get. But thanks for letting me know about this. If you want, I can get you that ice cream thing you mentioned tonight. As thanks. Just as thanks for all the trouble I've caused today.
Believe me, I'd love to take you up on that offer, but I've got something on my schedule this evening. Maybe some other time? Thanks a lot, Becca.
There's a short pause before he cuts the call from his end. When once again, I'm alone with my thoughts. But rather than the answers, all I got are formulated questions. More of them. One on top of the other. As if the world isn't planning to give me a break anytime soon. But that's a problem I'll tackle later. Right now, I've got students who need to be taught fully, so eavesdropping. If the slightly open door and there's smothered laughter from the inside and indications.
All right, enough eavesdropping. All of you, back to your seats.
Is that your boyfriend, Miss Gales?
None of your business.
He totally is. A quick scuffle followed that comment. If there's a retort prepared at the tip of my tongue, I drop every pretense of letting it loose on them. There's no use arguing with teenagers sometimes, bolstering as they all are. They're still my kids though, rough around the edges, maybe, but still my kids. Shaking my head, I head back to the classroom with a smile, but not before taking a glance at the locker again. It hasn't made a sound since.
Must be the wind.
What? So with another look, I leave. Shit. Alright. So those lockers might be those kids' locker. The previous kid that we saw in Mary Ann's case. All in all, the entire school day ends without a hitch. I've gone better minding you, but the exams are nearing. Getting out to work before the sun has set looks as though it's a far off dream for now. At least until they are over. Then we have holidays to look forward to. They really are times where simply take what you can get from the time being.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm hoping for this. I'm hoping for it is this will continue until the whole day ends. There's still that promise I made to Ashton, and frankly, the idea alone doesn't sound good. If Isabella didn't talk to him, what makes them think she'll talk to me? It's not like there's a hierarchy, is there? Just because I can handle Isabella's childish tendency doesn't mean that I do it all the time.
Really, those two give me too much credit.
Nevertheless, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, if only because I'm also worried about her. And both Zachary and Ashton deem too important that somebody get the story out of her. Here's to hoping it's nothing to do with that letter again. I understand if she feels a bit stressed lately, but keep that story going on for more than a week is. It's bound to get tiring at one point. Seriously, I merely don't want this to end in another argument. God willing, the cafe special will smoothen things out. After all, it's been food with her, or money, but mostly food. At this hour, the cafe is usually filled with a brim of people. That's the reason Isabella and I really go here during the evenings. It's simply too much of a hassle when we can prepare for ourselves in the comfort of our homes, and there really isn't much reason to eat out lately. With what life's going on is a busy streak, no time for long lines. Better spend that going something productive, yes?
Lucky there isn't one tonight.
Only a few people are idling around the counter. 4 of them, in fact. A woman in his 60s. Is it 60s? Yeah, 60s. And a teenager busy with his phone. Both are just waiting to be served by their orders. Wait, what? The other two? What? Oh no, you don't. It's Luke hitting on that little girl? You bastard. The other two, a posh-looking man and a child, who I immediately recognize as Kylie, appear to have not yet picked anything they want. For some reason, my stare lingers at the guy. Though dressed and relatively well, it looks harmless. I haven't seen him around these parts before. Someone new in the neighborhood, perhaps? Even so, there's something familiar about him. It feels like I've seen him somewhere before. That also begs the question why Kylie's with them. Of course, the girl easily takes a liking to anyone who buys her sweets, so it's both a bit worrisome and surprising. The blonde bloke doesn't look particularly thrilled with the company though. I tear my eyes away from them soon enough once the guy on the counter appears, ready to take my water. That and I also hate to be accused of ogling strangers.
2, evening special, takeout.
He's already punching the word before I even finish. Saying my word out loud is really more of a formality's sake than may not have happened. He's known Isabella and I long enough to if we ever drop here, he already knows it's always because I'm buying dinner for the two of us. I really visit her here alone if I can help it, but Isabella can sometimes be a bad influence. He gives me a small smile before leaving to prepare for my order, while I fish my wallet when...
Look, you little ankle biter. If I buy you the biggest parfait they have, will you please behave? I would just like 10 minutes of peace and quiet.
You said you'll get me some bread pudding this time.
Yeah, well, darling, they said they ran out of it.
Oh, that's the little girl they were talking about.
Just pick another one so we can be on our way.
Their parfait doesn't look as cute as the one my mom bought me.
Parfait is just ice cream, sweetheart. It'll melt no matter how dainty it appears. In the end, it'll all look like an ugly puddle. Now come on, just pick one. It could even be the most expensive one on that list. I don't give a shit.
Hey!
I don't care.
I was gonna say language, Luke.
What I would give for someone to buy you off my hands right now.
What? My whole intention is to snap back to them in their conversation. Jumping to conclusion isn't something I'm particularly fond of, especially when I have barbarous assumptions. But I can't really trust a stranger these days. No one around the cafe seems to have noticed his word either. Very suspicious words. Still, I don't move. Yet, but my hands already shift from my wallet to the book I'm carrying. A hardbound textbook looks harmless, but if the situation calls for it, it might be a good deadly weapon. Might. I haven't got the chance to try it anywhere so far. Today could be the day.
But you promised.
Look, if you don't want a parfait, how about a Bonifay pie? I'm sure it'll taste just as good as any other bread pudding. I'll even buy you the entire tray. How does that sound?
That's not what you said before.
Well, sweetheart, adults change their minds sometimes.
You said if I come with you, you'll buy me a bread pudding, and I did, and now you won't keep your promise. I want to go home. I miss my mom.
No, darling, if I remember correctly, and I have a good memory, honey. What I said was, if you come quietly with me, I might buy you one. The quiet part didn't happen.
What?
Though now that I'm sober, I think this is a bad idea. I should just ship you someplace else for that peace and quiet.
Smack him now. Oh, that's it. No hesitation. In a few paces, he's within my reach. Without warning, I'm slamming the flat area of the textbook against his skull. Ow! Alright, good job. Oh man, this is pretty good at bashing Luke. There's a cry of pain followed by him instantly crouching down, hands nursing the store spot. Almost comically, if there's were a different situation in the safety of us, saying Gorty student isn't at stake, I probably feel sorry for him. I mean, has anyone seen how thick this book is?
Get behind me, Kylie.
Miss Pink!
It's amusing how fast the expression changed from the pounding one earlier from something that utter delight upon seeing me, but there's no time for any pleasantries, not even quick ones, because soon the man straightens. I'm ready to my favorite newfound weapon for another hit. Except this time he's ready, and before I can lay another one, his hand shoots up to catch my wrist with a firm hold. Oh boy, look at his face.
Bloody hell, woman, what's your problem?
To say he's pissed would be a completely understatement. Had it been the weak-willed sort, I'd probably cover on the sharp gaze, and simply that, by the simply hasten how I roll. If you think he can scare me without do as he pleases, just because I'm a woman, whatever his reason it may be, he's got another thing coming for him. So instead, I return to him with the same intensity, with the same venom.
What's my problem? You're the one who has a problem here. Rotten bowbags like you don't deserve the freedom to run this town. What are you doing to this girl?
And why is that any of your business, pray tell?
Oh, it's my business if I make it to be. Now, release me or I'll call the police.
Oh, you think that scares me, Daisy?
I have a name, you sleazy douchebag.
Oh, I'm sure.
Sleazy douchebag. Cool. He grips my hand now, only tightens when I attempt to shake it off. His tone may be dripping with anger or sarcasm, but the gleam in his eye says it all. He's getting a kick out of this. Riling people up, getting their nerves, invading their personal spaces. He knows exactly which button to push. Nerve for this person, the nerve for this arsehole. If he thinks I'm going to give to his goading, please, he might as well just kiss his sorry behind. Hit him when it hurts? Was shouting for help? Alright. So I'm gonna try to be friendly with Luke.
Let me go, you uncouth lout!
Alright, I'm gonna load back at, because that seems to drop the relationship level. Oh, this might be a good place to stop anyways.
Mister, you have until the count of 5 to let me go and step out of
Oh
my
no!
personal space.
So either way, I lose. What is that? Relationship points with him. Holy crap! All right, so I'm gonna shout for help. Wait, stuck? All right, so I guess I'm stuck. So next time we'll come back and pick shout for help, because that seemed to be Oh, am I stuck the whole way? I don't want to be stuck the whole way, but last thing, let's check our branching tree here. So I haven't really got much of a choice, maybe just one or two. Primarily due to the choice that we made earlier. Like here could be a lot of shit going on. Oh, we passed all these, that's good. Alright, so it isn't as long. Oh, actually, this is still gonna be pretty long. So, okay, cool. There's only one way you can end, and that's dropping relationship points. Alright, guys, thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you guys are still enjoying this as much as I am. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, guys. Thank you.